What is going on, everyone? I got a little sunburn today, it looks like, outside, maybe. We'll let everyone kind of get in here for a minute. Hey, first one to comment, Joe. What's going on? Hi, Abram. Hi, Giants fan. Hi, D. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Spencer. What's up, Colby? Hi, Alexi. What's going on, Jake? Hi, Griff. Hi, Landon. What's up, Frank? Frederick, what do you need? My favorite color is blue. Hi, James. Shout out to Joe for his birthday tomorrow. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Chris. Alec, what's going on? Jorge, what's up? Michael, hello. Nice haircut. My wife gave it to me. Thank you, though. DJ, what's up? Holden, what's going on? Scott. All right, everyone. Hold your questions for 1 minute. I'm just going to say hello to everyone first. I just got off of MLB The Show. Got my hat here. I was going to wear my hat tonight, but I think I got to break this hat in a little bit more. So, see, I got to like form it to my head a little bit better. We'll go MLB The Show hat tonight. That's fine. Looks all right there. Hey, Zach, what's going on? Got my MLB The Show shirt on. I might as well work for San Diego studio. Oh, yeah, it is a blowout. Where's Kaz? Get Kaz in the game. Show's been treating me pretty well. Just started playing it and I've had baseball all day today. So literally just started playing it. Hi, Taylor. If everyone could do me a huge favor while we're waiting for everyone to get in here and hit the like button up for the video, that'd be terrific. Best MLB pitcher, Jacob deGrom. Thanks, Patrick. Kyle Blanks, he was a big boy. How much could he eat? I actually don't remember him eating like a ton. He's just a big human. Most important position? Well, they're all important, but I would have to say, you know, pitching is pretty important. Catching is pretty important. I would say anywhere up the middle. Sean Kazmar and I were good friends. We weren't together in the minors a ton, but we were in the major leagues together for a little bit, and he was one of my buddies. Very good guy. I actually was down in Georgia, not this past summer, summer before, and he was playing for Gwinnett, and went to the game to say hello to him. I've never played at Yankee Stadium. No, I have not, unfortunately. Did I play with Josh Barfield? I did for a little bit. Is Wade LeBlanc the greatest player of all time? One of them. Yep, one of them. Look at Pablo Sandoval this year. He's got an OPS of almost 2,000. The coolest player I've met? I don't know. I've played with a lot of good guys. I don't know who the coolest is, though. Mercedes, he rakes. He hits the ball. He hits the ball a ton. Furthest home run I've ever hit? I can't tell you the distance because it'd be a guess, but probably it was definitely one of my minor league home runs. It was either my home run at Rancho Cucamonga, maybe my home run at Springfield. Tough to say. How far did it go? I don't know. Felt like I hit it 1,000,000 feet, but Yogi Berra, no, I just missed Yogi. Hi, Luis or Luis. My NL MVP. You mean based on the first couple weeks of the season, or who I think is going to win it? MJ, popping up problems. It's all about your bat path. Go to our hitting playlist on YouTube and look up our videos on Bat Path. I talk a lot about popping up. That will help you. Thank you, I appreciate that. My favorite MLB team, I would say the Red Sox. I just found out a second ago I'm going to the Red Sox game tomorrow. So that'll be fun. We have a super chat, everyone. Hold on one sec while I get to the super chat. Evan, thank you so much for the super chat. Evan, did you change your picture, your profile picture? What was your favorite charity event you did during your playing days? So when I was with the Padres, we did a lot of different charity events. My favorite one? I don't really know about my favorite one. And one thing about being in the minor leagues too is a lot of times you were required to do charity events, but you also, you know, I mean, I don't know if everyone did, but I personally enjoyed doing them. So I've done tons and tons of charity events. I don't know what my favorite one was, but it's a big part of being a professional player. Most teams that I played with made sure that the players were involved in some way in doing different events for charity. And I know the Padres, I was with them the longest, obviously, but they did a really good job of making sure that the players were getting out into the community and doing different events. You struggle diving back. You literally just have to get out there and do it. A lot of players struggle with it because they don't practice it ever. The more you play, the more you get comfortable doing it. But I see a lot of players diving feet first back to the bag when you should be diving head first. So just get out there. Like I just have our players get out there. We almost did it. You know, we've done it after games. I almost did it after the game today. Just get out there, find a field, and just do it. Just simulate the game and just keep messing around until it feels comfortable. Aaron Davis, thank you so much for the super chat. What do you think about this Profar catcher interference? Had you ever seen that before? So I saw like the little, I have not seen the play yet. I've been at baseball like the last 24 straight hours, so I've not seen it. On Instagram, I saw them fighting about it or something. Let me go and check it out actually, and then I will give you my opinion. Because I have not seen it. Maybe I'll look it up here in a second. I'm watching the Braves-Cubs game on the computer as we do this, but I will get back to you. Senator Gary Peters, thank you so much for the super chat. What are your picks for AL and NL champions, and do you think my Royals can win it all this year? Well, I would say the Royals cannot win it all this year, but sorry, I got like a little hangnail or something now. You know, I'm going to stick with the Dodgers in the NL. My picks going into the year were Dodgers, which I think was everyone's pick. And then, who did I pick in the AL? I can't remember. Was it the White Sox? Did I take the White Sox? I don't remember who I picked for the AL. But let's go with the White Sox still. I've fallen behind a lot in the last week or so on big league stuff just because I've been so busy. Can you show how to grip and release a curveball? Here, I'll show you how I threw mine. Hold on one second. Let me grab a ball real quick for everybody. So everyone throws it a little bit different. So what I do is I take the ball and I use my middle finger and I put it on this seam right here. And then so I can pull down on this seam, and then I take my thumb and I put it on this seam right here. So I feel like I can tug down on this seam with this finger, and then I feel like I have this seam with this thumb, and so I'm able to get this action. My curveball was very much, I wouldn't say a 12-6, but it was much more curveball than slider. I never really could throw slider. And so I just feel like I'm going to get my fingers to the front of the ball like this when I threw it. Now, I am not an expert on curveballs. I haven't pitched since high school. And we actually have videos. If you're on our YouTube channel, if you go to our pitching playlist, there will be a video that says how to throw a curveball. And it's Juan Rivera, who's our pitching coach for Antonelli Baseball, going through it. So I would go through there and listen to him more than you listen to me, but that's kind of how I threw my curveball. We have a question about shoulder pain. Yeah, any type of pain, go see a doctor. I cannot help you with shoulder pain, so you should not be, no problem at all, broods. Or broods. You should not have pain in your shoulder when throwing the ball. And so I can answer a lot of questions on YouTube. That is not one of them. You're going to have to go see a doctor. Who am I, Michael? Who are you? My name is Matt, and I have a YouTube channel called Antonelli Baseball, and we have a baseball program called Antonelli Baseball. We have a lot of kids that play with us, and I am a former baseball player, current baseball coach. What am I doing, Matt? Me, Matt? I'm talking to you guys, and I'm also watching the Cubs Braves game while I talk. A walk-up song? Oh, man. I mean, all my songs, I played baseball a long time ago, so I don't know if you want to ask me about walk-out songs. I haven't listened to music. As you get old, like me, when you get old, you start listening to podcasts and less listening to music. I miss my playing days, yeah, for sure. So, Jordy, you asked about bring your cage to the game. I have a video. If you go on YouTube, I keep saying if you go on YouTube, you're all on YouTube. Type in something like can't hit in a game or something like that. My video should pop up. I talk about this. This is a huge thing. I get this question almost every day. Hey, Matt, I'm crushing the ball off the tee, can't hit in the game. I'm hitting the ball great in BP, can't hit in the game. I'm hitting great in the cage, can't hit in the game. So I made a video dedicated to that. Sean Kazmar, yeah. Kaz and I played together. What a great story, being called up after. Last time he was in the big leagues was with me. We were together on the same team in 2008 with the Padres. And so what an amazing story. Do I get stopped in public for autographs? Not walking down the street, but if we're at like a baseball tournament, I get stopped a lot for autographs. Your daughter has an issue of running before she finishes her swing. So I actually had a little bit of that in my swing as well. And it's not like I ever thought about it. I just kind of did it. If you watch me swing, if you take a picture of me swinging, I can't show you because you won't see my knees, but my front knee was really bent. And people would think like, oh, you're lunging or whatever. But I would actually hit, and then as I was following through, I'd start running. I had really fast times down the line to first base because I did that. I don't even know if it was so much a problem because I feel like my swing still worked fine. Oh, there's a rocket shot to left field. Boom, off the wall, just missed a homer. Sorry if I ruined that for anyone. What do players do on the DL or the IL list? Depends how long you're on there for. So I was on the DL, now the IL. I was on the 60-day when I was in the major leagues in 2010. I did not travel with the team. I rehabbed. I broke my hand and had wrist surgery, so I just rehabbed at our spring training complex all year. So it just depends on how long you're out for. EJ, thank you so much for the super chat. Who was the best dancer you played with? Oh, boy. I can't remember, honestly. I don't remember playing with anyone that I was like, man, this guy's an amazing dancer. I'd have to really think about that. You know, I'm not sure. It wasn't me, though. I know that much. All right, everybody, we got to get over 100 likes. Can everyone smash the like button real quick? And I've got this hangnail right here that is driving me insane. I need some like clippers or something. This thing is just like, oh. Frank, you're outside my window. Watch out. Thanks, Davis. It's never too late to play travel ball, no. Tips for overcoming fear of getting hit at the plate. It's a tough question. I don't know if there's any perfect way to do it. I've never personally dealt with it, so it's hard for me to give advice. I get this question a good amount. I don't know the correct answer for it. I guess it depends how old you are, but I usually just, you know, if it's a young player, I want to make them feel comfortable. So maybe I won't, you know, I'm not going to start firing balls in at them if they're scared. So maybe I go with a little bit of a soft toss. Maybe I use a softer ball. I teach the player how to get hit properly. So sometimes players don't know how to get hit. They see the ball coming at them and they turn into the ball instead of learning how to turn away from the ball and just taking the ball off the arm. So if you can get the player doing that properly, then they realize, okay, yeah, I might get hit and it might hurt, but I'm not going to get like my face broken, because again, you see a lot of young players, the ball comes at them and they turn into the ball and expose their face. How do you know what level of college ball you can play at? Well, you need to have somebody, hopefully, that can help you. Oh, yes, I got rid of that nail problem. You need to have somebody that, you know, has some experience helping players play college baseball. So, like, for instance, if you play for our program, Antonelli Baseball, whether it's me or my dad or Juan or there's a bunch of coaches in our program, Brian Menduke, you know, we've helped a lot of players go on and play college. Like, we've had now almost probably 100 Antonelli Baseball players go on and play in college. So, like, when you play for us, part of our job is to evaluate you and then give you an idea of where we think you can play and then help you get there, help you, you know, reach out to schools. We're contacting schools a lot of time. I mean, I talk to colleges pretty much every day. I probably talk to somebody. So you have to find someone that can help you in that regard. Hopefully it's your travel ball coach, maybe it's your high school coach. You tried to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but it didn't work. You got to try again. I don't know why that happened. Do I think Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens should be in the Hall of Fame? Sure. Tips for charging the ball. You just got to keep your feet moving. I tell our infielders, like, you got to get into the ball. You got to keep your feet moving, get into the ball. I talk about taking big steps and then breaking it down into small steps. And then it's right, left field, right, left throw, essentially. Like, if I broke it down as simply as possible. Overcome lunging. Best way, again, is to watch our videos. Just type in how to stop lunging, and my video should come up, and give it a look. Baseball nightmare. I have so many baseball nightmares. You guys want to know the craziest thing? And Ben Kirby, I did get a PS5. Yep. Got one yesterday, or 2 days ago. We can talk about that in a minute. But, oh man, what was I going to say? I was going to answer a question. Now I don't remember what the question was. Where did that question go? What the? Can anyone remind me what I was starting to talk about there? I totally forget. You guys might not know what I was going to talk about because I never talked about it. Oh, nightmares. Yeah, and then I will answer your super chat. You know what's weird about nightmares? So I'll have nightmares about baseball all the time. Like, I need to get ready to play, but I don't have my cleats, or I can't find my glove, or I can't find my bat, or whatever. Or, you know, the sun's right in my eyes. I dropped the pop fly. Or I always have these bad baseball nightmare dreams. But in the other sports, they're always the best. Like, when I have a football dream, I'm scoring like 10 touchdowns. You can't stop me. When I'm a hockey dream, I score 15 goals in a game. I never have a bad hockey dream. I never have a bad football dream. I only have bad baseball dreams. I guess I picked the wrong sport. I don't know. But Abraham, thank you so much for the super chat. What's up? Nothing. What's up with you? How have you been? I've been great. How you been? Remember a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to you about the 2002 Angels. Can you tell Sean thank you for everything that year? He was playing so good that postseason. Yeah, he was. I've talked to him a lot about those playoffs and about his career. Sean and I were teammates and roommates, and we spent a lot of time watching videos of hitters and talking hitting, and you know, we're probably very similar where we are very, in some ways you might call it obsessed with baseball and coaching and teaching and all that stuff. So the next time I talk to him, I will pass that along for you. Why can't catchers paint their face masks like hockey goalies? I'm not sure exactly what the rules are for catcher's masks, just because I've never really caught, but I'm not sure why. I'll have to look that up. Hold on one sec, guys. My hat is too tight on my head and it hurts. Advice on going the other way with 2 strikes. So I think with 2 strikes, my philosophy on 2 strikes typically is oh, that's much better. With 2 strikes, I'm going to kind of look to hit the fastball the other way. That's my thought process. I'm going to drive the fastball to right center field. I'm a righty. And for me, that allows me a couple things. One, it allows me to see the ball a little bit deeper, because if I'm going to hit a ball away, I got to let the ball travel more. So I'm seeing the ball deeper. When I see the ball deeper and think about hitting the fastball the other way, if it's a curveball, a breaking ball, well, because I'm trying to hit the fastball the other way, now I can catch the curveball a little bit more out front. So it allows me to hit more than just one pitch. If I sit curveball, then I'm probably going to be late in the fastball. And so, again, depending on the level you're at. But then generally the advice I give on 2-strike hitting, or the approach, is drive the fastball to the opposite field gap, and that'll allow you to be able to pull the curveball. Why do kids starting to learn baseball not understand the idea of moving to the ball and fielding? Well, I think the more you play baseball, the more you understand timing and rhythm, and, you know, like, for a young kid, catching a ball is hard, right? It's not like an easy thing. It's a little ball, and so young kids, they just want to catch it, right? And so if I was going to tell you, is it easier to catch standing still or running? You'd say standing still. And so little kids, you know, they try to stop so they're not moving, so they can catch the ball better. You get to a point in baseball where the only way you can really make the play as an infielder, you have to move through the ball. So you're never technically stopped. And you learn that just through playing and getting reps and getting more comfortable doing it. My favorite player was probably Manny Ramirez as a kid. Nice. You caught 20 innings in 4 games and threw out 7 kids. Pretty good. Power hitting drills. So power hitting, to be able to hit for power, essentially you need to have bat speed, right? The faster you swing, the harder you'll be able to hit the ball. You need to have a good bat path, because you need to be able to, 1, square the ball up, right? I can't hit the ball for power if I can't square the ball up. But you also need to have good ball flight, right? So the big word now is launch angle. But if I want to hit for more power, you can't hit for power hitting the ball on the ground. I've got to be able to hit the ball in the air. In the air, I just mean hit it with some carry. I did find a PS5, yes. In order to hit the ball with carry, you need to have a good bat path. Your bat path oftentimes is going to dictate, it's going to dictate where the ball goes off the bat. You swing down too much, you're going to hit a lot of ground balls and high pop-ups. You're going to overspin the ball and hit it pop-ups to the infield. You swing too much uphill, you're going to hit a lot of top-spin balls. You're going to be under the ball, probably miss balls back. So you want to be, slightly up through the hitting zone, and that's going to really help you hit the ball for more power. We have tons of super chats that just came in, everyone. We've got Landon Thomas. Thank you so much, Landon. If you could have picked who drafted you, who would it be and why? I mean, I would have loved to have been drafted by the Red Sox, which I actually thought I might have been. They were one team that I did speak with before. But it also is cold in Boston. I like to play in the warm weather. So San Diego is the greatest spot to get drafted by. I just wish I played better. Josh Davis, thank you so much for the super chat. Is video game Matt back on the steroids? He never got off the steroids, Josh. It might look like that the way I've played lately, but he's never been off of them. Brian, thank you so much for the super chat. If left-handed pitchers do better against lefties, and there are more right-handed batters in baseball, why are lefties so valued? If left-handed pitchers do better against lefties. Well, because there's just not a lot of left-handed pitchers. And there are more righty hitters than lefty hitters. But there's really very, very few left-handed pitchers. And so that's why they're more valuable. There's less of them. There's less left. I would say there's less, and this is not a stat. I'm making this up. But I would assume that there are less left-handed pitchers compared to right-handed pitchers than there are left-handed hitters to right-handed hitters. Hopefully that makes sense. In my brain, that makes sense. Left-handed pitchers also control the running game better. Stealing second base is hard off a lefty because they're staring right at you. It's a little bit easier to steal third base, but way harder to steal second base. RC from the NYC, thank you so much for the super chat, RC. What's up, Matt? Hey, Laura. What's up, chat? Hope everyone is good. Same to you, RC. So, you think the pros can get into prolonged slumps because some coaches are almost afraid to... Oh, sorry, hold on. So, do you think that pros can get into prolonged slumps because some coaches are almost afraid to work with them hands-on? RC, the real reason why I think pros get into such prolonged slumps, I don't think it's because coaches are afraid to work with them. I personally think it's because the game is so hard. It's like hitting is hard anyways, but in the major leagues, like, you have to face great pitching every single night. And in the major leagues, and just in professional baseball, it's easy to get in long slumps because you're playing every night. So there's going to be points in the season where you don't feel good at the plate. Ball looks like it's this big. Your swing just doesn't feel good. There's some points in the season where your swing feels amazing. Ball looks like it's this big coming in. There's going to be points where it looks like you're trying to hit. It's like they're throwing little peas at you. But when you get into a slump in the big leagues or in professional baseball, you're facing great pitching every night and there's no nights off. And so your swing might feel like crap and you've got to go out and play with your swing feeling like crap. There's not a whole lot of extra time to do work. Now you're going to hit BP and all that stuff and you can work before the games, but it's not like in college or in high school or in Little League where, you might play 3 games in a week. And so you're going to have a couple days to figure your swing out. It ain't like that in pro ball. There are no days off. There's some days off, but so you got to figure it out fast, and it's hard to figure it out fast sometimes. And even if you do, it's hard enough to hit when your swing feels good, but when your swing doesn't feel good, you can go 0 for 20 real fast. 0 for 20 is 4 to 5 games, and that's going to be in 4 to 5 days. Brian, thank you again for the super chat. If you could meet any baseball player in history, who would it be and why? I would probably say I would love to meet Manny Ramirez, but if it was any player, it might be Ted Williams because, obviously one of the greatest hitters to ever live. But really knowledgeable hitter, someone that seems like he would love to just talk baseball forever. And so the people that I've enjoyed talking baseball with are people that just really like to talk. Just talk and then talk baseball. So Jim Lefevre, I got to spend a lot of time with him. Tony Muser, got to spend a lot of time with him during my career. They both really enjoyed just talking baseball, talking hitting, talking everything. I used to sit and talk with Jim Lefevre about hitting and stuff forever. Just sit down in his office and he would just talk about everything. Again, same thing with Tony Muser. Would just talk hitting and baseball. I used to go out to eat. I spent probably 10 days with Tony Muser, and we went out to eat like every night together. And, you know, hell, he was, let's see how old. I mean, I was 20, like 3 at the time. Let's see how much older he is than me. (1947), a lot older than me. He's 73 years old. You know, so, I mean, here's someone that played in the big leagues for a long time, managed in the big leagues, coached in the minor leagues, coached in the big leagues, coached everywhere. And we would just go and eat dinner and talk baseball every night. Jeff, thank you so much for Super Chat. What should your approach be in even counts? Well, a lot goes into approach. So game situation comes into approach, your strengths as a hitter, the pitcher's, you know, strengths and weaknesses. Again, your game situation as in, you know, innings, score, where the base runners are, previous at-bats against the pitcher. Like all of these things go into putting an approach together. So I would say the easiest approach, the most simple approach, if I have no information and it's not a specific, you know, game situation, I look middle chunk of the plate and I try to hit a line shot right through the pitcher's head. Like that was my very just blanket approach. If I don't have any other information, nobody on, you know, that's what I try to do. I try to get a ball in the middle chunk of the plate, hit the ball hard to the middle chunk of the field. Andrew Reed, thank you so much for the Super Chat. Thoughts on Kazmar finally being called back up? I think it's an amazing story. Clearly someone that loves baseball, and you know, hell, he's older than me by a little bit, so he's got to be like 36 years old. Oh wait, no, I'm 36. So yeah, he's probably 36 too, maybe 37, and has continually. I mean, he's been in AAA for like, it feels like the last 100 years, and he's continued to play and stick with it. And I can't imagine what that must feel like to get the call that you're going to the big leagues after not being there for 13 years. So, and he's a great person, and you know, definitely deserves everything he's getting. Was there a pitcher that you enjoyed hitting against? Well, if you see my stats, you'd probably think no. And as I try to think right now, I can't think of anyone that I really enjoyed hitting against. I mean, there were guys. I'm having a hard time thinking of specific people. I did get a PS5, guys. Yes, I did. Brian, thank you so much again for Super Chat. Aside from generating more revenue and ticket sales, do you think 162 games is necessary? I personally don't. And I love baseball, but I think 162 games is like a little overboard. It is a grueling season to play 162 games. So, you know, I think you could do a lot less, you know, even giving the players maybe just one more off day every, you just give them just a couple more off days a month, make it 130 something games would probably be a better number. But when did I start lifting weights? I started lifting weights, I would say probably seriously, at the end of my junior year of high school, beginning of senior year of high school. Players are lifting a lot earlier nowadays than when I played. When I played, you know, like nowadays, there's everyone's got personal trainers, and there's places to work out all over the place. When I was playing in high school, there wasn't. Like, I went to just the local gym, and my dad helped me. You know, it's different today. CSU grad, what's up? Haven't talked to you in a while. Thank you so much for Super Chat. Have you guys settled into the new house? Yeah, we have. You can see I've got this picture on the wall behind me. Laura put this up. So we're getting pretty settled. We're finishing our basement right now. I'm building my man cave so I can play PS5 down there. But we are settling in, thank you. Tips on hitting higher velocity. Well, everything's just got to be done quicker against higher velocity. Simple stuff is get yourself loaded earlier. Like I've got to get to a spot. There's a spot in everyone's swing where you're loaded and you can go from. And you have to get to that point a little bit earlier. The faster the pitching is, the earlier you have to get there. You know, your swing has a lot to do with it too. Like I can't have a whole lot of wasted stuff going on. I can't be long and slow and around the ball the faster the ball is. I've got to be shorter, quicker with everything. So swing mechanics have a huge part to do with it too. Could everyone give this video a thumbs up? We got to get to 200 likes. If everyone could like the video, that would be terrific. Let's get over 200 likes. Thank you, everyone. Emo, thank you so much for the super chat. You had me with your April Fool's video. You are going to be my favorite player ever. Well, thank you. I got a lot of people. You guys know how many people called me, emailed me, texted me, congratulations, you know, cheering for you, pulling for you. Like, all your hard work is paid off. And I did it as a joke, and then I was like, well, now I feel bad. All these people are, like, super excited for me, and I have to write back to them, thank you so much, but I made it all up. It's an April Fool's joke. So, yeah, I got a lot of people with that. I did like playing for San Antonio Missions. Yep, we won the AA championship. Texas League Championship. How many showcases did I go to as a kid? I went to 3. I went to a top 96 and I went to 2 perfect game showcases in my life. Again, I grew up in a different time where there weren't really any showcases. Nowadays, there's like 1,000 showcases. It used to be like, there's still good showcases, but there's just so many now. The SSN, thank you for the super chat. There's no question there, so I don't know if you meant to send one, but thank you very much. Any hitting drills to do by yourself? So I've got some hitting drills on our channel. If you go to our hitting playlist, you can find some. If you're going to do it by yourself, it's going to involve either a tee or we use this martial arts bag by Century. Again, if you go on our hitting playlist, you'll see me doing the drills demonstrating, or you'll see our players doing it. Those are the 2 best ways to do drills by yourself. The bag, I love the bag. I mean, I use the bag a lot. So go to our hitting playlist and just check. You'll see me hitting the bag. You just look at the thumbnail and find one where I'm hitting a bag and check it out. Brian, thank you again for the super chat. Were you ever feeling depressed about baseball? Absolutely. Seems like a lot of travel, a commitment, small chance of making it to the bigs, pressure. Would think that some days questioning things or feeling bummed out. Yeah, without a doubt, Brian. I think like with anything, here's the thing with baseball, and this is not just baseball. This is, I'm sure most people feel this way about something in their life. For me, it was baseball. So I really dedicated, my life to baseball. Like, when I decided that I wanted to play Major League Baseball, I would say that would be the dominant thought of the day for me. When I wake up, most of my days went like this. I woke up, the first thing I thought of was, what do I want to do today? Like, how am I going to schedule my day? What's the plan of attack here to get better at baseball? And then when I went to bed, I would think before I would go to bed, what's my plan tomorrow to get better at baseball? And I did that for probably 12 years straight, probably somewhere around there. I would say from the age of 15, 16 until I stopped playing at, when did I stop playing? 28, 29, somewhere around there. I'm not good at math, but what's that, 12 years, 13 years? And it's consistent every day. Like, for that amount of time, I worked out 4 or 5 times a week. Not because I wanted to look good or enjoyed going to the gym. I just did it because it was going to make me better. I would say almost every meal I ate, even if it was McDonald's, I did it because like I was trying to get calories in. So like my main thought all the time was how to get better at baseball. And when you put that much, dedicate that much of your life to something and then you don't do well at it, like just look me up on Google. You'll see some years that were horrendous. Like if anyone says like, oh yeah, it was a great time of my life, I dedicated the last 12 years to this and I'm failing miserably and I'm very happy about it. Like I wish I could think that, but that's not the case. So I will say, as bad as it can make you feel when things are going bad, there's very few feelings for me that feel as good as when things are going good. So, you know, I always felt like you're always chasing the feeling you get. Like when you get a hit and round first base, it doesn't have to be a home run, just getting a hit, hitting the ball hard, rounding first base, the feeling that I got with that is why I play the game, because you're always kind of like chasing that great feeling. It is a great feeling. Getting out is the opposite. It's horrible. And when people say, why did you stop playing? Now I know like I got hurt and I didn't think I could play in the big leagues and all this stuff. But like the main reason I almost felt like is I couldn't take getting out anymore. Got to the point where you just, I tell everyone like, I think everyone has a certain amount of outs that they have. Like think of this bottle, right? Just think of like thousands of like little, I don't know, marbles or something in a bottle. There's so many outs in that. And when you're out of outs, you're out of outs. And I got to the point where I was out of outs. I couldn't get out anymore. I couldn't mentally deal with it anymore. And that's when I said, I'm done playing. I also got released and no one wanted me to play for them anymore. But all right. Sorry, that was a long answer, Brian, but we could probably talk about that for a long time. I got a lot more super chats here. AK850, thank you so much for the super chat, AK. If you're still looking for a PS5, I use PS Direct. Make sure you use multiple devices so you have several places in line to increase your chance of getting picked up. I can't stress that last part enough. Thank you so much for the advice. I actually did get a PS5. I was very lucky and had a very nice family that I've got to know through this player has done lessons with me and worked with our teams in the wintertime, and they were nice enough to do a little trade for one of their PS5s, so I do have one now. Johnny, thank you so much for the super chat. Is there an obscure rule you didn't learn about till later on in your career? There's a lot of rules that things happen in baseball a lot, not a lot, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I've never seen that before, and oh, I don't even know that rule. The rule book is quite large, and I don't even know all the rules. I don't know if anyone knows all the rules in the rule book. I'm sure there's some people out there that do, but I've never read a full rule book. I tell this story a lot. Not a lot. I've told it before. When I was with the Orioles, Buck Showalter carried like a rule book in his back pocket. And I remember he pulled it out one game. He would like pull it out on the bench and like ask people like different questions about the rules. And I remember one time he pulled it out and I was like looking over at it and it had like all these little highlights in there. I was like, I wonder what he highlighted in there. But he used to always ask questions. I remember, I've told this story, I was sitting on the dugout, not playing. I'm watching the game and a play happens. I can't even remember the exact play. It was something that involved the second baseman. And all of a sudden he was like right next to me. He was like, hey, he's like, if you're in there and this play happens, what do you do? And I was like, and I just gave an answer. And he was like, okay. And he just turned around and walked away. I don't know if he walked away saying, wow, this kid's an idiot. He has no clue what he's talking about. Or maybe he was like, all right, that was impressive. Or maybe he was like, didn't think anything. Maybe he was like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he in our dugout right now? I don't know what he thought. He never told me. But that was the first coach that ever did it to me. I'm on the bench in a game. It's a spring training game. And it meant nothing. And he asked me what I would do. I gave him my answer. And when he left, I was like, oh, thank God I was watching that play. Like, what if he came over and I was like, I didn't see the play. I'm sorry. I would have probably just made something up. But, Emo, thank you again for the super chat. If you didn't get bitten by the injury bug, do you think you would make it back to the majors? Well, not right now. I'm just far too old and I haven't done anything. I think my thoughts on getting injured is I don't like making excuses for things. Like, if I had $1 for every time I talked to somebody that told me they would have made it far, but their career ended with an injury, you know, I'd probably have a lot more dollars than I have right now. So I don't like to say like, oh yeah, I could have played longer or better, you know, without being injured. But I do think like, I don't think I've ever met a player that's played better because they were injured. Like, being injured makes it much more difficult to play better because you can't practice, which is the biggest thing. I mean, I missed like over 400 games in my career, I think, because of injury. I missed a full season because of injury, and I missed multiple parts of other seasons because of injury. And so the biggest thing is, while everyone else is playing and practicing and getting better, I'm sitting in a cast not getting better. I'm getting worse. And then your injuries become like, even when you're back from your injuries, like for me, I have to tailor what I usually do. So I can't hit as much BP because my wrist would get sore. If you can't hit as much BP, then you can't practice. You can't practice, can't get better. You know, in the off seasons, I couldn't lift as much because I'm in a cast. And so that just kind of compounds. When you're trying to do something that you have to be really good at doing and you can't practice as much as you want to practice, it's hard to get really good at it. That might sound like an excuse. It probably is a little bit, but I do think there's something, I think there's some truth to that. But anytime someone says, why don't you play anymore, whatever, or why did you get released? I tell them, I didn't play well enough. If you don't play well, baseball is a business. They're trying to win. They want the best players possible. They felt like someone else was a better player than me or would help them win more, so they released me. That's just the way it is. Quite simply, a very popular phrase in professional baseball is, if you don't like it, play better. And that's the bottom line. If you don't like not playing, play better. If you don't like getting released, play better. Anytime someone complained about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the minors, you know what they say? Oh, you don't like those peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Oh, really? You don't like it? Well, play better. That's what the answer to everything in the minor leagues is, play better. Really, it's the answer to anything at any level of professional baseball. Johnny, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Matt, ever play at Minute Maid Park? I have never played there. Nope. Be cool to, but I have not played there. Did I miss a super chat anywhere? Oh, Brian, I missed your super chat. Oh, did I miss other super chats? Oh my God, how many super chats did I miss? All right. Sorry about that, everyone. I missed some super chats there. AK850, well, congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Brian, thank you again for super chat. Red wants that statistically, managers don't matter much. I have heard that as well. You think managers make a big difference, rather have a good manager or a great player teammate? I think the players are probably the most, not probably, the players are the most important thing. I think any good manager will tell you that no matter how good they think they are at managing, if they don't have good enough players, they're not going to win. So, what do they say? It's the Jimmies and the Joes, not the X's and the O's, and I do believe that. I do think a good manager can make a difference. It's not a big difference. I'd rather have a good manager than a crappy manager. But I think any manager knows, if you ask any manager to answer honestly, they say, yeah, I can make a difference, but the players make a bigger difference. Johnny, oh wait, I already answered your super chat, and I think that's up to date with super chats. Never played at Wrigley Field either. That's one place I wish I really could have played at, but I did not. How about those Royals? Any chance to get into a D1 college if your recruiting process starts in your junior year? Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of players. We have a lot of players right now that are juniors that are playing with our Antonelli baseball team that are not currently committed, and a lot of them are going to play D1. So, yep, you can. Do I think throwing hard is genetic? I do think that there are some genetics to it, obviously, but I don't think it's purely genetic. I've seen lots of players improve their ability to throw hard through a lot of different avenues. So, do I think some of it's genetic? Yeah, but I don't think all of it's genetic. Do I have any advice for a high school freshman? I have tons of advice. I mean, I've made probably 3,000 instructional videos. So some people might say it's not good advice, but I have lots of advice. I don't think giving advice to a freshman is any different than giving it to an 8th grader, sophomore, junior, 6th grader, 12-year-old. But if you just go on our YouTube channel, you can get any advice you want. It depends on the position you are. Like I have the advice in our playlist broken down by position, by the mental game, by offense, by defense, by all that stuff. So I'm a 2022 grad. I throw 82, 86 at 6 feet. How much more miles per hour do I have left in the tank? I have no idea. I've never seen you throw the ball. I've seen plenty of people. I've seen everything you can imagine. I've seen kids go from 82, 86 to 90, 92 in a year. I've seen everything. So how much do you have left in the tank? I have no clue, Bronson. I don't know you at all. Never seen you throw. But I think with most players, as a 2022 grad, if you keep working hard, you're going to get better. How much better? I don't know, but you should continue to get better. You're very young. What was travel like in college? We didn't travel a whole lot. So I played at Wake Forest. Most of the teams in our, you're going to play your midweek games locally, and then most of the teams in our conference. A lot of teams in the North Carolina area, but when we went to, when I was playing, BC wasn't in the league yet till my senior year, and they came to us. Pitt wasn't in the league. Notre Dame wasn't in the league. So our far trips were like Miami was probably the furthest trip. So we fly to Miami, but most of it's bus trips. How do you get more arc on your hits? It all has to do with bat path. Go check out our videos on bat path. Your bat path is going to determine your ball flight more often than not. And so it all comes back to bat path. George, thank you so much for the super chat. If you could go back to the MLB right now, would you? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would go play right this second. I would say in this chat, if we asked anybody, hey, if you could go to the big leagues, major leagues right now, would you go? I would say probably 99% of people would say yes, I would think. Am I wrong on that? Would anyone in here, if I said to you, you can go to the major leagues right now, would anyone in here say no? It's an interesting question. Shallow Sportsman, thank you so much for the super chat. How old were you when you realized you may have a career in baseball? I would say probably a career as in a professional career, probably my senior year of high school. I knew by my junior year of high school I was going to play college baseball. Probably didn't know pro ball until senior year because I got drafted. I started talking with a lot of scouts my senior year of high school. That's when I realized I could probably play professional baseball. When I say, would you go to the major leagues, I meant if you had like major league talent. Clearly, like if you went and, you have no baseball ability, then yeah, you're going to get made fun of. But best way to connect with recruiters is, again, I have a recruiting playlist on our YouTube channel, which talks about how to do this, but you need to be proactive. You need to create some type of highlight video showcasing your skills, and then you're going to need to email that to college coaches at schools that you feel you have the ability to play at. Most players have no clue which schools to email that to. That's why you need some type of guidance, someone to guide you through that process. But that's as simple as it is. Is D1 baseball equal to Class A or rookie ball? No. So maybe rookie ball, because rookie ball, there's a lot of high school draft kids. There's a lot of young international players. Depends what D1 baseball, like not all D1 baseball. There's a lot of D1 baseball teams that aren't going to have anyone drafted. So, you know, playing a professional team of all players that have been either signed or drafted, like, they're going to be better than most D1 baseball teams. But if you look at the Power 5 schools, you know, like, let me give you an example for a second, because some people don't understand this. A lot of people don't understand this. I played at Wake Forest, which is in the ACC, and we were very good my junior year. We ended up having a couple guys drafted off that team, and we had a few drafted high. I went in the first round. Alan Dykstra went in the first round. Josh Ellis went in, I can't remember what round, top 10 rounds, I think. But we had tons and tons of kids on that team that never played pro ball. A lot more that never played pro ball than actually played pro ball. So, you know, you might have a handful of drafted kids. Eric Neeson got drafted. There's a few more that got drafted, but a handful of kids. When I showed up in short season A-ball to play, I went there. Chad Huffman and Wade LeBlanc went there. They were our second round picks. David Freese went there. You guys know David Freese. All of our best picks went to play here. So just think, I played at the ACC at Wake Forest. We were a top 25 team in the country at one point. And then when I went and played in short season A-ball, the whole damn team was all top 10 round pick. Not the whole team, but all our best picks went there. So you better believe that short season A-ball team, we would have beaten the absolute hell out of my Wake Forest team. So that just gives you a little idea. And like I said, there's certain D1 teams that are going to have nobody drafted. And when you go play a team in pro ball, the whole team's been drafted. Do you could succeed the minors at this time? No. I would need a lot of practice. And I'm probably far too old and weak. And I mean, I struggled in the minor leagues when I was trying my best to be the best player in the minor leagues I could be. I am going to make a new player for Road to the Show. I think I'm going to call it Back to the Minors, because it'll be fun to go back to the minors. Not in real life, but in video game life. Andrew B., thank you for Super Chat. UVA fan here. Memories of playing Zim and Doolittle. Yeah, so here, I got something for you, Andrew. Thank you for Super Chat. The first team that ever recruited me in college baseball was UVA. I got a letter in the mail back when people sent letters in the mail. And it said, you know, we'd really like you to come to campus, and we'd really like to have you see a game or whatever. So me and my dad and my best friend got in the car and drove to University of Virginia. We watched them play Florida State. They were the first team that ever recruited me. I was so nervous. I went to the dugout after the first game. It was a doubleheader. And I said, hi, Coach, thanks for having us out. And he said, hey, Matt, thanks for coming. That was it. I looked at campus by myself with my dad. It was an unofficial visit. And I told my dad, I left there and I said, I don't care. I'm coming to UVA to play baseball. They're the first team that liked me, and they weren't even great then. Florida State was the better team. But anyways, the following year, that was my sophomore year, and then I was recruited by them as a junior, but they wanted me to play center field. They didn't recruit me to play infield because they had Ryan Zimmerman at third. They had Reynolds at short. They had a lot of good infielders, and so they wanted me to play outfield. So I ended up not going there. I went to Wake Forest instead. But I played against Zimmerman a lot. I played against Mark Reynolds a lot, who I actually became teammates with in Baltimore. I played against Doolittle. Doolittle was a two-way guy that was a stud. I played him when he was a freshman. So we actually swept Virginia my sophomore year. They came into us and we swept them. And then my junior year, we went to UVA and I don't remember how many we won. I'm not sure, but we swept in my sophomore year. I remember that was a big series for us. Jack Leiter is filthy, absolutely filthy. Barry Bonds Hall of Fame, yeah. Favorite pitcher of all time, Pedro Martinez. High school batting average, I don't remember my senior year. I remember my junior year was the best year of my high school career. I hit 629, I believe, my junior year. My senior year, our state went to wood bats. So my average went down my senior year because I went from hitting metal my junior to wood bats my senior. I hit 5-something. I don't remember the exact batting average. I hit really high in high school because I was a good contact hitter. I put the ball in play a lot and hit it hard a lot, but also I was pretty fast and got out of the box really fast. So, I could hit I had a lot of hits. Lars looking at me, like giving me faces, but I had a lot of hits in high school where I hit the 2 strikes and I would just kind of like reach out, hit like a little like chopper to the infield and beat it out. That's the only way you can hit over 600 in high school. Like, you ain't hitting 600 in high school just by smoking balls all over the place. I'd hit a few balls hard, I'd walk, and then I'd hit a chopper and beat it out. Tips for staying short to the ball and not getting long. This could be a really long talk, so I don't know if I can give you everything you need here. But again, if you go to our hitting playlist, I'm going to have a lot of videos on bat path. And you could probably stay up all night tonight watching them and you get a lot more info than me trying to like quickly tell you how to be short to the ball. I did face a knuckleballer a few times in the minor leagues. They're hard to hit. And they're not even big league knuckleballers. I've never faced a big league knuckleballer before though. Average fastball velocity I saw in college versus college now. That's a really good question, James. Velocity has gone up incredibly since I played college baseball. My last year playing was 2006. What's that, 15 years ago? I'll give you an example. I saw some stat that 11 pitchers at Wake Forest this year hit 95 or above in the fall, like topped out. 11. When I was there, our hardest pitcher was throwing like 91. There was no one really throwing 95. There were a few guys in our league, like Daniel Bard threw really hard. Andrew Miller threw hard, but not 95. I feel like he was maybe a touch below that. But Daniel Bard threw super hard. But when I played at Wake, it was like most pitchers for our team were like 87 to 89. That was like the standard pitcher for us. Now, like 87 to 89, people will be like, what? Like, you might play D1 baseball. It's crazy how hard kids throw now. Auburn Tigers, as far as like, did I talk to them as a player? No. Do I think weight is correlated to bat speed? Yes. Now, it doesn't mean just because you're big, you're going to swing faster than someone that's not as big. But I do think strength and being bigger and stronger definitely helps with bat speed. The bigger and stronger I got, the more bat speed I got. Emo, thank you again for Super Chat. Why do you think the screwball is so rare? So a screwball is extremely rare, and I don't even know how to explain throwing a screwball. When I think of a screwball, I think of just like really turning the ball over this way. Almost kind of like what you kind of feel with a changeup. So I don't know. I guess I'd have to see what a real, true, like old school screwball looks like. Tony Gwynn, did he ever critique my swing? He did give me a little bit of advice. He told me, I've told this story before. He came down into the clubhouse and told me he thought I needed to load more. And that's all he really said. He said, you just got to get loaded more. And I said, okay, thank you for the advice. But that was really it. Most uplifting moments of my career. Um, I'm not sure. Uplifting. It's a good question. I'm not really sure. I guess when I got my first kid, it was pretty uplifting. I felt like I was going to get 3,000 more of them, and I got like 11 more or something like that. Do I think baseball is dying? No, I don't think baseball is dying. Is it less popular? I was talking actually about this at our games today. Is it less popular now than it has been at certain times? I guess maybe, yeah, a little bit. I don't think the sport is dying. I don't think like in 5 years or 10 years there's going to be no more baseball, I don't think. I think every sport evolves. I think baseball, a lot of people don't want baseball to evolve, I feel like. Like when I think of football, I think of like a lot of evolution of football. Like football has evolved a lot. I feel like the game is always changing. There's always new rules and being put in place. I feel like with baseball, it's not so much that. There's been some evolution, I guess, but people seem to get mad. A lot of people, you'll hear a lot like, hey, keep the game the way it's always been. Stop trying to ruin the game. But I do think some things need to be changed in baseball to make the game a little bit more exciting. Would I ever want to work in MLB coaching, managing? So I've actually interviewed for a few spots in Major League Baseball and was offered a few spots and did not accept them. So it wasn't the right time for me. And right now is probably not the right time either. Will there be a time in my life? Maybe, I don't know. But right now is not the time. John Taylor, thank you so much for Super Chat. My boy turns 3 soon. Cool. What should this summer look like for him? Basic throwing mechanics, hitting off the tee, unrelated. Ever been to Alaska? I've never been to Alaska. And your son for 3, I'm trying to think back. So my son's 6. The biggest thing we did when my son was 3 was I'm trying to think 3 years old. So my son started T-ball at 4. So I would say at 3, we did a lot of things to just make baseball fun or make hitting fun. He couldn't really play baseball, but just make hitting fun. And so I had him hit like big balls, like beach balls. I used to blow up balloons and hold a balloon like a tee and let him just swing and hit the balloon. Or I would get him in his stance and I would drop the balloon. The balloon would start to come down and boom, he'd hit it. He thought that was fun. I think one of the big things about baseball, this is just my opinion, I could be off on this, I don't know. I think baseball is a challenging sport. I think everyone knows it's a challenging sport. And so I think what drives away a lot of kids from baseball is probably just when it's really hard and kids don't like failing at it. It's a game of failure. So I think for like young kids especially, I want to make the game as easy as I can. So like hit a balloon, hit a big ball, let them hit the ball, have fun, lots of success. And, there's nothing better than swinging and hitting a ball well. So I think like letting them do that and feel good about it and say, this is like a lot of fun. Like it's fun to swing this bat and hit this ball versus it's not fun to swing this bat and miss 400 times. Screw that, I'll go do something else. So that's kind of how I did it with my son and at 3 years old. William, thanks so much for Super Chats. Tips for shorter lefty pitchers, anything on Ohtani? Oh, Ohtani is filthy, amazing, unbelievably talented, just freak show. And tips for shorter lefty pitchers, I don't know if there's any tip. I don't know if height is going to change the tips that I would have for you. Oh, excuse me. I also don't know how old you are. I think a general tip is, identify your strengths and your weaknesses and what do you need to get better at and, what are you pretty good at, and then just attacking those. It could be a bunch of different things. But figuring out, for example, I don't throw hard. Okay, you need to throw harder. Why do you not feel like you throw hard? You might not be able to do this all by yourself. You might need to go find somebody that's, specializes in it. Like I don't consider myself a pitching guy. So, you know, if it was me, I'd have to go find someone else because I don't know why the hell I can't throw hard. But there's different reasons why. It could be your mechanics. It could be a strength thing. It could be a mobility thing. It could be like there could be a bunch of different things it could be. But just figuring out what is holding you back. Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it you know, mechanical? Is it, you know, whatever? Why do you dig in at the plate? I do think when you're hitting, like, I always want to feel kind of grounded. Now, also, like, cleaning out the box and digging your foot in, a little bit of that is, like, I'm not sure if that's part of it. A little bit of it is, like, it's a really interesting question. A little bit of it is, like, taking command of the box. Like, this is my box, right? Like, we're all sharing the same box. But different hitters stand in different spots and they do different things with the box. And so, like, when you get in, like when I get in, it's like, you know, I always clear out the box, right? I kind of push the dirt around, move it around. Then I dig into my spot because, like, this is, like, other people have been in this box and you don't stand where I stand. You don't stand how I stand. So I'm going to clear it out, dig in, and now it's, you know, I've just made this batter's box mine. I do think there's part of it. And I don't know if that's a conscious thought by hitters or subconscious or what, but James, you're from Massachusetts. You pitch at University of San Diego, 90-92. What do you think I should be able to get to in pro ball? Well, it depends. Again, everyone's different. Some people, you know, depending on what you look like, and like some people are 90-92 and like that might be it. Some people are 90-92 and they might throw 100. So it's really hard to say. But I've seen, like I said earlier, I've seen everything. I've seen guys jump 10 miles an hour from high school to college. I've seen guys throw slower. So, you know, it's hard to say, but I would say that I personally felt like I got better. I continued to get better all the way until I was probably, I started getting hurt. But, you know, into your mid-20s, I feel like you're still getting better. So you've got a ways to go. Oh, you went 6 for 6. Congrats. Why do I think hitters have become bad hitters recently? Why do I think catchers have become bad hitters recently? Recently as in what? Like, overall, catchers have always, for the most part, not been as good. It's been the weakest hitting position, generally speaking. And that's just because catching is really a specialty position. Like, it takes a lot of work to be a catcher. And when you're a catcher, you have to put in a ton of work with the pitchers, right? Like, so as a position player, you have more time to hit. As a catcher, like, you have to catch a lot more, so you can't practice as much. So that's why it's really hard, number one. Number two, it's a more physically demanding position. So you're going to be tired more because you're involved in every play. You're going to get beat up more. You're going to get foul balls. You're going to, you know, blocking balls. So it's really difficult on your body physically. So you're not expected to hit as much. Yachty is a Hall of Famer, yes. Best catcher in the league? I would say like, I would say probably Real Muto is the most talented catcher in the league. How much of a talent difference is there from JV to varsity at your high school? At our high school, well, varsity players are just a little older, a little more physical, a little more experienced. You know, our JV team is pretty good usually. And our varsity team, very few young players make varsity at our school. So the JV team will eventually be the varsity team. And, you know, so all those things. They're going to gain more experience. They're going to get bigger and stronger. You know, they're going to get older. So there is a difference. It's probably not a huge difference, but there is a difference. What makes Juan Soto, Mike Trout, Acuna so different and consistent more than other MLB players who are the best players in the world? Well, I think when you're at that level of player, you have special physical traits that help you. You know, those are freak athletes, especially Trout and Acuna. I'm not saying Soto isn't a great athlete, but Trout and Acuna are like freak athletes. You know, super fast, super explosive, just super athletes. So that helps, and, you know, they've got tremendous swings, you know, very consistent swings that they can replicate. They're just very consistent with it. They take the same. I'm not saying they're able to repeat their mechanics like really, really well. And they have great mechanics. And by having great mechanics, they have great bat paths. They're, you know, they have great bat speed. They have incredible quickness. So that's what makes them super consistent. Difference between maple and ash. Maple's a little bit heavier usually. I always swung maple bats. I just felt like they lasted longer. I like the feel of it. Excuse me. I like the feel off the bat of a maple bat. Is there a breathing approach to hitting? Yeah, I think breathing is really important. While I'm on this topic, could everyone give this video a thumbs up? That would be terrific if you could. So breathing is really important. I think you always want to take a deep breath when you get into the batter's box. I had the same routine every time. I get in the batter's box, I look at my bat, I look at the label of my bat, take a deep breath in through my nose, blow it out of my mouth slowly, feel my kind of heart rate go down, I feel kind of a feeling of like relaxation. And then when I do that, now you know, I do my pre-pitch thing, I get ready, and then I go. And I do that every single pitch. I never get into the box without taking a deep breath in and without looking at my bat. It's just part of my routine. I've known some pitchers that are good at hitting. Not a lot, because it's hard. They don't practice much, but. Would I say Mookie Betts the second best player in baseball? Yeah, he could be considered the second best. I mean, he's a top 5 player in baseball, I would say. All right, everybody, I'm going to answer maybe like one more question, and then I'm going to, I might go to bed actually, because I've got a long day, and I just found out I'm going to the Red Sox game tomorrow, so it's an 11 o'clock game, I believe. So I got to get up, I got a lot of work I got to do, and then I'm going to go to the game. Oh, we need 11 more thumbs up, 11 more likes to the video to get to 300. So if you guys could all do that, that'd be terrific. Hello, Elias. All right, which question should I answer? Let's see. How to stop dropping your hands? I have a video on that. You can look that up. Thanks, Ferris Bueller. Thank you for 300 likes, everyone. The most effective way to learn, practice, gain muscle memory on hitting mechanics. Well, repetition is key, but you can repeat a crappy swing and just build in crappy mechanics. So repetition, yes, you need to put in the work. You need to have an understanding of, you know, an awareness of what you're doing, if what you're doing is good or not good. How do you get that awareness? Finding a mentor, a coach that can help you, watching video, studying what major leaguers look like in their swing. Like, there's a lot of ways to do it, but I think that'll help you. Ways to become a faster runner. Practice running. So form is important, mechanics, just like anything. Be a more explosive athlete. So getting stronger, getting more explosive, getting more powerful will all help you as well. My least favorite MLB team, I don't really have one. Which drill video is the best? Depends on what your issue is. So I'm not sure. What to look for in identifying pitches. On YouTube, after I get off, just type in how to pick up the ball better or something like that. My video should come up talking about that. What car do you drive? I drive a Chevy Tahoe. And the last question of the day, favorite stadium that I played in, probably Dodger Stadium, great atmosphere. We played some really good games against the Dodgers, and they had Manny Ramirez, who's like my favorite player of all time. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. We did almost an hour and a half of questions, and so hopefully I answered your question. I appreciate. What is my full-time job? This is it right here. You're watching it. I'm just kidding. I run a baseball program called Antonelli Baseball. You can go to AntonelliBaseball.com and find out more about it if you'd like to. Anyways, thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the time and hanging out and the likes and all that stuff. If you guys have any baseball questions, you're on YouTube, go to our YouTube channel. I have tons of different playlists. Those videos will help. We cover everything: fielding, hitting, base running, mental game, pitching, everything. Anything that you can think of when it comes to baseball, I think we probably have it on our channel. So, no, Ollie, how about you do that? I'm just kidding, Ollie. I forgive you. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, Ollie, and thanks everyone else. Thank you, Flyer fan, for hanging out. And we will talk to everybody later this week. Take care.